Happy summer solstice to those of you who are in the northern hemisphere, and for those of you who are in the southern hemisphere, those down under, happy winter solstice. Okay, now regarding the ingress of the sun out of the sign of Gemini the Twins into the sign of Cancer the Crab, that happens on the 20th of June 2016, and that's again the winter or summer solstice depending on the hemisphere that you reside in. And you need to understand that if you're going to do any kind of invocations or evocations of planetary nature or an archangel nature associated with astrology, you need to understand that until 6:35 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time and 10:35 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, the sun is going to be still in the sign of Gemini the Twins to then ingress into the sign of Cancer the Crab after that time. So just understand that if you're going to be doing any kind of invocations or invocations. Now, during the summer solstice, we have a full moon also, all right? The full moon also, this is happening on the 20th of June, 2016. It's June 20th for both northern and southern hemispheres. Also, the full moon on the same day is in the sign of Sagittarius the Archer. Now, the full moon evokes an archangelic Gabriel into the 9th house of the Sagittarius house. So understand that the zodiac angel there is a Nachiel, and that's the natural 9th house for everyone. And that's the natural 9th house that has to do with your life path meaning. And you need to invoke, if you want to utilize astrology angel magic, you need to utilize for Sagittarius and Nachiel, for the full moon a Gabriel, and for Gemini the Twins, it's Umbriel, and for Cancer the Crab, that's Muriel. So, and we're going to be going over some of these things in more detail here. This is going to affect you in your 3rd house of transportation and communication, the summer solstice, whereas the full moon is going to affect you in your 9th house. So the sun will be going from the 3rd house into the 4th house of home and family, because Gemini is the 3rd house and natural 3rd house, and the natural 4th house is Cancer the Crab. So you have a lot of correspondences with this particular June 20th event. Again, you've got the full moon in Sagittarius, and you have the sun ingress out of Gemini into Cancer, and that's the solstice. So a lot going on. So you're going to have to be very particular to what you're trying to accomplish if you want to invoke energies. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Thank you for joining us. For the full moon, then we have the Archangel Gabriel. Again, this is projective. And what you want to do is you want to utilize the resin of amber for the full moon, and for the incense. Also, the Hebrew letter that you can utilize is Gimel. You can use for the scripture Psalm 119 verses 17 to 24. You may add Psalm 34 verse 3 for salvation from the Akkadian god Sin, using the now projective due to the full moon. Angelic emanations of the Hebrew letter Gimel, meaning camel, that appears above this verse, whose planetary angel is Gabriel, who rules over the changeable moon. We can also give you the correspondences to use for Sagittarius, Gemini, and Cancer. For the summer solstice event, this is going to affect you in such a way in that you're going to take all the things that you've established thus far when it comes to how you communicate with people and how you visit maybe family or friends, or how you transit from one place to another, whether you're going to work or whether you're going to gatherings or whatnot. It's going to be about those kinds of connecting with others, issues, and then you're going to find meaning from those connections because of the full moon in Sagittarius. That's the meaning of your life path. And then as the sun ingresses into the sign of Cancer, you're going to have, for the solstice, you're going to have that translate back to family, back to home, and back to hearth, home, kitchen, back to all the things that are very important, even into your ancestry and also into your progeny. So it's going to be about the meaning of connection first with everybody, and then again, as the sun transits out of Gemini and ingresses into Cancer, the crab, it's going to then again get into the more home, family, your progeny, your ancestors, your tribe, your extended family. Those things are going to become highlighted. They're going to become more important. These are because sometimes one feels that it's better to leave people alone when one wants to allow others to be able to flourish. But at one point, when the sun enters into a sign, it highlights something, and then people feel that they need to pay attention to something, and sometimes that feels like a sacrifice, because the sun entering into a sign is like a sacrifice. However, sometimes it's necessary, and if you don't overdo, then it can be a beneficial type of connecting with others you haven't connected with for a very long time. So the thing is to not avoid it altogether, but also don't overdo. So that's the way to handle these types of ingresses. Birthdays are like that, because that's when the sun is in your sign. And too much of it can be devastating to a person, and not enough of it causes a person to feel neglected or abandoned. So you want to sort of find that happy balance in these issues. And this will be a good time to go over how you're going to, how you feel this best will work for you and the people that you care about. Now this is a time to go over some of the archangel correspondences for you. First, we're going to want you to consider 1 Corinthians 13, 1-5. If I speak with the tongues of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become as sounding brass or tinkling cymbal. And if I should have prophecy and should know all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I should have all faith so that I could remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing. And if I should distribute all my goods to feed the poor, and if I should deliver my body to be burnt and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing. Charity is patient, is kind. Charity envieth not, dealeth not perversely, is not puffed up, is not ambitious, seeketh not her own, is not provoked to anger, thinketh no evil. So that's a good thing to remember during this time when you're going to be connecting more with others, and you're going to be connecting more with people who are very close to you. But again, so one says that if someone comes to you and tells you you're puffed up with pride, they're probably talking about themselves. So just remember, if someone tells you you're doing something wrong, it's something they're probably doing wrong themselves. So sometimes you can just say, you're just talking about yourself, or you can just walk away and ignore it. It's up to you. But just understand that's probably what's going to be going on. Now for the solstice evocation, for the astrology angel magic, the archangel of the sun obviously is the archangel Michael. And he is the beloved of God. He is God the Son. For the Archangel Michael, for the sun invocation, you can use the incense, frankincense, clove. For the type of gemstone, you can use a citrine or sunstone. Also, you can use ruby, yellow or orange diamond. The Hebrew letter is Resh, and the psalm is 119, verses 153 to 160. Also, Ecclesiastes is good. Ecclesiastes 11:7. The light is sweet, and it is delightful for the eyes to see the sun. also refer to Matthew 17:2, and he was transfigured before them. And his face did shine as the sun, and his garments became white as snow. Now for the full moon evocation for astrology, Archangel Gabriel, for the lunar frequencies, we're going to give you the projective planetary frequencies to use. The zodiac angel correspondences for Sagittarius is the zodiac angel again, Adnachiel, and that's a tribe of Israel, is a tribe of Benjamin that you can use. That's a popular association. For the incense, you should use spikenard or juniper berries or anise. Also for the gemstone, turquoise is good. The Hebrew letter is Samek, and the Psalm 119, verses 113, that's 113 to 120. You also want to understand that you can use Genesis, chapter 49, for the tribes of Israel correspondences. That will be helpful to you. Although most sources associate the sign of Sagittarius with the tribe of Benjamin, some associate this tribe with the sign of Leo, while others attribute the sign to Pisces the fish. So there's some difference of opinion there. Some archaically distant methods of deriving astrological correspondences from the tribes of Israel assign the tribe of Zebulun to Sagittarius or the tribe of Gad to the Archer. Again, there's some difference of opinion. The adept should use the tribe of Israel correspondence that best represents his or her expressions of mutable fire for Sagittarius for the invocation of the zodiac angel Adnachiel. Calls to the angelic realm should fill the adept's sphere of sensation with a desired goal. This attribute is more important than following any prescribed instruction, though tradition provides necessary as well as welcome structure to any system of Rosicrucian high magic performed. Now we're going to get into the sign of Gemini for you and give you the correspondences for that. For Gemini, we have, again, the archangel, the astrology archangel to use for zodiac angel is Ambriel, and that's the tribe of Manasseh, and that's the popular association. The incense, lemongrass, peppermint, pearl. The Hebrew letter, well, peppermint is the incense and pearl is the gemstone you can use. Zion is the Hebrew letter that's associated with Psalm 119, verses 49 to 56. Also Genesis 48:17 and Genesis 38:27. Now, Genesis 49, again, is where you can find Tribe of Israel correspondences. If you want to check this out on your own, again, have this the feeling that invokes these energies best for you for the sign of Gemini, the twins, and for the zodiac angel of Ambriel. The tribe of Ephraim and the tribe of Manasseh make up the house of Joseph together. Also, some associate the tribe of Levi. And Levi is the priest's class. That's the priest associated with the priest class, with the sign of Gemini, as well as others attributing Gemini to the brothers Cain and Abel. Now, obviously, the signs of Gemini and its correspondence to the tribes of Israel it constitutes it creates quite a difference of opinion. But again, it can be contested, but people need to invoke what best suits them for how they're going to best feel. That invokes that kind of intelligence and imagination and quick imagination that Gemini affords you. For the sign of Cancer, the crab, the zodiac angel is Muriel, and the tribe of Issachar is the popular association. The incense, you can use myrrh or you can use sandalwood. The gemstone to utilize is ruby. The scriptural correspondence, Genesis 49:14, is the popular association, while some magi might use Zebulun, however, because of the seashore attribution in the scripture, if that invokes it into their sphere of sensation, because that makes them feel that that's a better correspondence. That you can find these things in Genesis 49:13 for the seashore attribution in that scripture. Again, that's Zebulun. So, just use whatever you think works best for you. Okay, thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Pastor Rosemary, the Astrology Angel. Join us again next time.
Hi, Brian. How are you today?
Hey, Dave, I'm doing great. I'm a happy dude.
We have a listener that wrote an email for a safety first topic. Says, I'm a less than active jumper, and I'm wondering about currency and safety. At what point should a jumper decide that they're not spending enough time in the air to remain a safe and proficient jumper? I have a C license, but can only make a few jumps a year right now, and for the foreseeable future. Should I just throw in the towel and sell my gear, or is it reasonable to continue in this manner, assuming a conservative and honest approach to the sport with respect to skill and ability? Obviously, I don't want to give it up, or I wouldn't even pose the question. It's just something that I'm wrestling with right now. So what do you think about that? How much currency do we need to be at a reasonable level of safety?
Well, I think that people can be the what we used to call Mr. Once in a while. You know, I came from a small club where if you didn't show up every single weekend, they would call you Mr. Once in a while. And it's true that taking on complicated skydives, difficult skydives, high-speed parachutes, that requires currency. But it doesn't mean that people have to quit their sport just because they can only make a few jumps a year. Just be smart about it. You know, don't go up on your first jump back and do a 30-way. Don't go and do a birdman jump. Don't do a high-performance canopy flight and do a, radical hook turn. Keep it simple. Pull higher, slow it down. Maybe do a 2-way with somebody that's really good. I actually would prefer, if somebody's not current, to stay away from solos, even though maybe sometimes the requirements, if they're a static line progression jumper, you got to do your solo. I'd rather have them with somebody that can kind of keep an eye on them and give them that reassuring smile and keep them cool, keep them happy, and maybe warn them when the spot isn't good, that sort of thing. You don't know what you're losing when you don't jump for a while, so it's best to stay with company, good company, just not too much company. 10 ways are not a really good idea. Reasonably large parachutes that are forgiving. That's the main thing. But don't quit the sport, for God's sakes. I mean, come on, this is the greatest thing ever. Sometimes people have, all kinds of valid reasons why they can't skydive. I think that if you can only make one jump a year, just do it carefully. Make your one jump a year.
Would it be reasonable to say maybe you should do a little a coaching work with an instructor or something, and at what level
Sure.
is that maybe not even necessarily? I mean, he says he's got a C license. What is that nowadays? That's at least 200 jumps. Is that right?
Yeah, well, I mean, for somebody that's really not current, it's kind of a loophole that allows them to not do a first jump course all over again. However, I still think that it's a good idea to continue your process. You got to recognize that most of skydiving is not skydiving. Most of it is visualization. And so even though you're not in the air, it doesn't mean you have to stop thinking about it. Once a skydiver, always a skydiver. So watch videos on YouTube, maybe not the crash and burn ones. Watch positive visualization stuff that aids your clarity. And maybe put on a rig if you have one, and touch your handles, practice packing, practice pulling. As silly as it sounds, and of course if somebody sees you walking around your house with a rig on, they're going to laugh at you, but I do it. I just got this crazy new cockamamie Birdman suit from Tony, and I haven't jumped a Birdman suit in a while, so I've been wearing it around the house. I got Laura doing the same thing. This is part of skydiving.
I think this should be on your YouTube channel.
I think so too. But part of skydiving is these kind of silly, embarrassing we're putting on our gear when we're not at the drop zone. It's even people that have gotten hurt. I still think it's a really good idea to put your gear on and feel like a skydiver. Close the gap between where you are and where you want to be.
All right. Well, let's see. Is there anything else you want to talk about on that, or do we get that one hit?
Well, I think the main thing is that you listen to your gut. If you don't feel right about your currency jump, get more training. Sit down in the first jump class or get with an AFF instructor, even if you have a lot of jumps. If you don't feel right, don't jump until you do feel right. There you go.
All right.
Right?
Sounds good, Brian. We're going to check out your YouTube channel. Hopefully by the time this Safety First is out, you'll have that video of you and Laura walking around the house in your wingsuit.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. I play guitar in the wingsuit. It's like it's training. It's all part of the training.
The YouTube channel, we're going to search for BS Germain. That's not for bullshit. That's for Brian Stewart, right?
That's right. You got it.
That's kind of an unfortunate username, isn't it?
It was a choice. I thought it would be funny at the time. Now I didn't realize that would have so many people watching it.
YouTube.com, and it's BS Germain. All kinds of good stuff there. Brian, we'll talk to you on the next episode.
Yes, indeed. All right. Thanks so much for having me. Safety is no accident. Woo!
Woo!
Somebody told me once I can't get a grip on my life, 'cause it's got me surrounded. The walls built up so high, so strong, so wide, that I can't get around it. And there's a silver chain hooked to the back of my brain, and I can't break through it. But if I had a chance to push the face of my problems away, well, I guess I blew it. But now I can't see a light in the darkness, can't hear a song in the silence, can't find a smile in the sadness, can't see an end to the madness, can't shake the feeling of dying, can't break the cycle of crying, can't generate strength from my conviction, can't separate fact from contradiction. There's hard days when you're alone, and hard nights trying to fight this feeling. My head spins, my heart pounds, my palms get wet, my existence is reeling. And there's demons in the dreams, and they stifle all the screams of my everyday nightmare. If there's a place on this earth that promises instant rebirth, well, I wish I could go there. But now I can't see a light in the darkness, can't hear a song in the silence, can't find a smile in the sadness, I can't see an end to the madness, can't shake the feeling of dying, can't break the cycle of crying, can't generate strength from my conviction, can't separate fact from contradiction. There's people out there who all feel the same way. You can see the look in their eye. Get out of bed and go to work, try to have a productive day, but don't ask why. If Hannah Arendt said human existence is coexistence, well, then why am I one? One man going through life alone, playing his fingers to bone. Pretty soon my will be done. But now I can't see a light in the darkness, can't hear a song in the silence, can't find a smile in the sadness, I can't see an end to the madness, can't shake the feeling of dying, can't break the cycle of crying, can't generate strength from my conviction, can't separate fact from contradiction. Somebody save me. Somebody help me. Somebody take me down from here. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. Somebody save me. Please, won't somebody help me? Somebody whisper in my ear, I'm taking you home. I'm taking you home. So welcome home.